he's one of the main players in the Scottish scene, and he's going to definitely be sadly missed, not just for his promotion through in dance music, but his personality as well. The important part that Tom played, I think, was really promoting Scottish dance music, and I'm sure if Tom didn't do that, then the scene would not be as big as what it is. I'm sure of that, because he really focused on the local talent, and guys like myself, Ultrasonic and TTF, QTEX, QFX. We're really, we're lucky to make a career for music, and Tom was one of the main guys that made that happen for us.
Okay, and bro, it's time to turn it up. Now pump it. Now pump it. Now pump it. Just jump to the beat, come on. You're rocking to the sounds of the Ultrasonic. Coming live full of headstrong. Drop the bass. Bringing it up some. Coming live. This is not over yet. Everybody in the house make some noise. Come on in, bro. Now pump it. Come on. This is not over yet. And bruh, we're staying headstrong. Bring a noise. We're gonna pump it. Come on. Just keep it moving.
something a little different now.
You're listening to a tribute to Tom Wilson on 97.3 Fourth One. Alfredo runs The Cube in Musselburgh.
As you know, the dance scene has taken a bit of there's a change, and it's not as popular as it used to be, and a lot of the big dance DJs that were around and popular, they all sort of fell by the wayside, and only one guy that stood up and was counted and was followed and respected was Tom. And I got him down November, December last year in the Cube of Musselburgh, and to be honest, I was amazed as soon as we said in the papers and obviously in the radio, we had people from all over central Scotland booking in. We had buses, they came from everywhere, and I was absolutely delighted with the response. But what actually happened to that business, the Cube, was that from Tom playing there that weekend and the new faces that came to the club, and the club just went from strength to strength, and we got him back again, and we called the night Deja Vu. It was just let's do it all again, and we've been here before, and it was just a massive night for us, and it was great. I think he'll be sadly missed. I've spoken to Tom in the last 5 years. Well, before even the club was even conceived or built. I spoke to Tom when he was doing Stepping Out Radio 4th, and I approached him I was just a nobody, and I approached him, and he said to me, look, whatever you do, get this sound system like nothing else. And we done that, and when he came down, it was just great talking to him. And he's just one of these guys where you just sit down and you think, well, I'm going to meet Tom Wilson here. These guys are just, you just sit down, how you doing? And he's really cool, he's casual, and he's calm. He's really calm, and nothing's a problem, and okay, let me take care of it, just don't worry about it, I'll do it. And he's just that kind of guy. He's just a cool kind of guy. He's going to be missed because of it's just the way he is, just the way he was. He's just a great kind of guy that was nothing was a problem. And I tell you what, when he said, "Don't worry, Alf, I'll pull this off. I'll make it a great night," and listen, the guy was great. And it's going to be a big miss.
Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free.
is a tribute to Tom Wilson, who tragically died last Thursday. Friend DJ Technotrance remembers Tom.
He basically gave us my first interview on the radio when I first started DJing. Met him at the Foo Bar, and he basically said, right, come along with the Force, we'll give you an interview. And that was a big thing when I was like my first year of DJing. I mean, it was a huge, massive thing for me. And ever since then, just best of friends. Great guy, one of the best people you'll ever meet. I mean, genuine, kind. I mean, there's endless. Just really, it's a sad loss for everybody in the scene. It's going to be a different scene from now on, definitely. Tom was the scene. I mean, he started it when the Stepping Out shows back then. Then, as I say, everybody was on the show, interview-wise. He built it up, basically. I mean, then even when it kind of went away, the wayside the last, 4 or 5 years, and then it came back again, it was just the old school shows again. And, you know what I mean, as I say, he was resident every single one of the things we did. So, you know what I mean, it's just unbelievable when I heard, you know what I mean, just he's the best guy who was ever going about, you know what I mean, that way. Nicest guy.
Tom Wilson was a legendary DJ, and tonight on 4th1, we're paying tribute to his life and music. Here's Matthew Smith from 4th1.
Well, it still seems pretty surreal to be sat here today paying tribute to the legendary Tom Wilson, and it's not really until you see some of the texts and the emails that have been pouring in from friends and from fans that you realise just how well-loved and respected Tom really was. I first met him about 8 or 9 years ago, which in itself was incredible because growing up at school, everybody listened to Tom stepping out on a Saturday night, and of course, bonus beats during the week. I remember tapes being traded at school. Did you catch Tom Wilson's bonus beat? No, but I did. I'll trade you this for that. It was great fun. And meeting him, as I say, was just incredible. And the first thing that struck me about Tom is just how laid back he was and how friendly he was. He didn't really have a bad word to say about anybody. Always in a good mood as well. Happy, jolly. And the guy you heard on the radio was the guy you met in the office. And I think our managing director summed him up pretty well by saying that kind of sparkle and twinkle in his eyes said more than words could ever say. Other thing about Tom was just how passionate he was about the music that he played and the music that he produced as well. I remember a few instances with songs such as DJ Quicksilver, Bellissima, and Wham Do Project's King of My Castle. Those are songs that Tom spotted months and months before they even saw the light of day anywhere else. He knew they were going to be big hits. He jumped on them. And of course, true to his word, they became big number one songs. Anybody that knew Tom would agree on this one. As well as being passionate about the music he played, he was also very passionate in his views on certain types of music. And I remember just a couple of weeks ago actually being at a record company dinner with Tom, and sat at our table was who we thought was just a record rep from London. Tom got into a very lively debate about music, and it was only later on that we realized this guy that was sat at our table that we thought was just a record rep was actually the managing director of the record company. That didn't faze Tom at all because, you know, he had his opinions about music, and it's good to say that they were actually right. Tom was obviously going to be missed and remembered by a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. He was an inspiration to so many people, not only in, you know, the dance music industry, but also for like rising presenters, as I was at the time. Tom gave me some great advice as I was starting out. So it's been an absolute honor to know him, and he'll be very, very sadly missed.
This is 97.3 Fourth One, and you're listening to Tom Wilson, a tribute. Steve McComb runs Revolution Nightclub.
Tom was just a fantastic consummate professional. I've known Tom now for over 14 years, where he's played 99% of our gigs, so we've always booked him. He's always been the first name we always put down their flyers. Tom loved the music, but he loved more the reaction the music made, and that's how we'll remember Tom, just the happy smiling faces at all his gigs that we booked him for, and other gigs which we personally attended, which he played at. I mean, so much so that he actually played at my wedding. He played at my wedding, you know, he was the first name down at my wedding, so you can imagine my wife's face, you know, when I said, listen, Tom Wilson's going to be playing at my wedding. And I think that's why we were even busier than what we actually were in the beginning. Totally synonymous with that dance scene movement from the early 90s and right through up until the resurgence of the old school stuff just now. And he's always supported every major Scottish artist, and I think he's been the backbone of their success, and I'm sure they'll admit that. And without his support through his radio show and playing their records, then I'm sure it wouldn't be the scene in which it is today. And he was also a very successful record producer as well. Technicolor was massive, you know, and it still is today. And I'm sure he would have enjoyed even more success production-wise than actually what he had, you know. He was such a warm individual. It's very difficult in this industry to find someone who is such a fantastic DJ and what a nice guy he is to boot. And he was. He always had time for the fans, always had time for promoters, always had time for people and genuine listeners who just supported the movement. And yes, he was just such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
Only your loving takes me up to the top, making me move my feet, making my body rock. Only your loving takes me up to the top, making me move my feet, making my body rock. Making me move my feet, making me move my feet, making me move my feet, body rock. Making me move my feet, making me move my feet, making me move my feet.
This is Grant Stott, and tonight we're remembering the life of a colleague, friend, and legendary DJ, Tom Wilson. Steve Tandy is a record industry executive in London.
Knew Tom for 10 years or more. He's obviously a legend within Scotland and a legend within the music industry, not only for his dance work and his remixing, but also as head of music of Forth, which is how I dealt with him on a weekly basis. He was one of the most direct and honest person in radio, and I always remember a record I was working many years ago, which he said he didn't like at all, and I told him he was deaf, and they were called, and he went away and had another listen to it, and being the honourable man that he was, he decided that I was right and he was wrong, and he actually started playing the record. The record was by a band called Kitchens of Distinction, and I think Tom had a lot of distinction. He was also, and obviously was very experienced in radio and the whole dance field, but that didn't stop him being still listening after all these years, still experiencing and looking for new music, and actually telling it how it is, and he was respected for that. He never ever came across as big-headed or arrogant. He was always most sincere and a gentleman to deal with in every sense of the word. He set trends. He discovered new music. He made obviously his own music, and these types of people in the business now are few and far between. He always did his own thing. He always had an opinion, and he didn't follow the crowd, and that's what's needed in all genres of music, particularly in dance. And we've been missed terribly within the record industry. I'll miss him as a character that I used to enjoy ringing and meeting on a regular basis. People used to ask him their opinion on records, and in fact I've actually asked his opinion on records if I was thinking of working records. If I was approached on records, I'd go to Tom and say, I've been asked to plug this record, what do you think of it? And he'd always come back with an always humorous reply. His humour was renowned. He was 100% all the time, and every time you spoke to him, he was always full. I don't think I ever spoke to him and he was low key at all. He was always full of energy, and whether that was making records or being on the radio, and I think that's what people warmed to him. His energy and his humour was infectious.
This is 97.3 Fourth One. You've been listening to a tribute to Tom Wilson, who we tragically lost on Thursday. It's Grant Stott here, and from my own point of view, what can you say about Tom Wilson in just a few short, precious seconds? The man was a very, very good friend, even though he was a jambo. Gave me many, many moments of ridicule and humiliation over the years with regards to my team's performance. But with regards to him professionally, well, what can I say? With Tom Wilson, you didn't have a shock jock, but you had somebody who could amaze you with his knowledge and love of music. He was never an out-and-out comedian, but with just a sly grin and a wicked look, he could have you in stitches. One thing was for sure, whenever Tom Wilson was on the radio and you turned on, you knew that you were in a safe pair of hands. Tom Wilson, a good friend, good colleague, and an absolute legend. We're going to finish this tribute to Tom with the track that he's probably now most famous for, Technocat. Rest in peace, buddy.
What is it out there between each universe? Can we not breathe the air, smell the flowers, see the beauty of the world and not expect more? But of course we do. We are human, 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 we are human. beautiful day.